Ready? Action.
Hi, I'm Kirly-sue and welcome to Kirly-sue's Kitchen. Today I'm making for you a really lovely recipe. Now you don't have to worry about what sort of ingredients because they're probably stuff you have in your kitchen already. So let's get on with going through the ingredients for this lovely recipe. In here I'm just weighing out 225 grams of unsalted butter, and obviously this is a vegan butter. Most supermarkets, major supermarkets these days sell vegan butter, so it's not very difficult to come by at all these days. Vitalite, Stork SB, all those major brands and Flora are all suitable for vegans, so it's really easy and convenient. So that's the 225 grams of butter measured out. Put that in this bowl.
Not ready.
So you place the butter that you've weighed out into the bowl, like that. And then now I'm going to weigh out 110 grams of caster sugar. You can use golden or regular, either one is fine. So you're going to put the sugar in with the butter. And then we're going to whisk this until it's light and fluffy. So then when you see it's changed colour and it's kind of slightly paler than before, then it's ready. So it's all combined, the sugar and the butter. So we're ready for the next stage. We're going to add the flour and the corn flour to it now. So now we're going to weigh out 225 grams of plain flour. I like to be quite precise because baking is a science.
Say it one more time.
I like to be quite precise because baking is a science. So add the plain flour to the butter and sugar mixture. Get all of it out. And then you're going to weigh out the corn flour. The corn flour is what makes this really light and that melt in your mouth texture that you want your shortbread to have.
Ready?
So there we go, 110 grams of this. So if you go slowly, then yes, then you hit the mark. And then you add the corn flour to the rest of the mixture. Get it all out. There are some recipes that don't use corn flour, but I find it's much better with. So then you're going to stir this all together because you want this to come together to form a dough. I use my hands. Yeah. So now you're going to put your hands in and knead it so it comes together more because you want it to be a nice smooth dough. Put in some elbow grease because you want to make sure it comes together nicely. because you want those biscuits to be nice and fluff and light and melt in the mouth. So you have to knead it. So as you see, it's starting to come together now. And is it coming away from the sides? You just keep going. So that's what you want to achieve, a clean bowl where it's all come away from the sides and it's all together in a smooth dough like this. See, it doesn't take too long, just a little bit of elbow grease, nothing much. Then you're going to put this between 2 sheets of greaseproof paper. We're going to use the greaseproof paper because it doesn't stick. So that's what we need, because we're going to roll it out now. Alright, let me just clean up. So then once you've got it between 2 sheets of greaseproof paper, then you're going to roll it out. You just press it down like that to start with. Turn it around as you go. And just roll. Because you want it nice and thin. You want it light and melt in the mouth. There you go. Not too much effort to do it. You want it about, let me see, about 1/4 of an inch thick. I'll show you. It's like, yeah, a biscuit size, standard biscuit thickness. So you try and get it all into one level size, so the same thickness right across the pastry, because you want it, that's important so that when you're baking they all cook at the same time. So if some are thicker than others, some are going to cook quicker than others. So try to get it as thin and as level as you can. So apply the same pressure, even pressure, as you go along, and that will get it. It doesn't have to be 100%, but just aim for having it similar size. There, that's it, rolled out. Now, so this is the baking tray with a sheet of greaseproof paper on top, because we're going to cut out the biscuit shapes for the shortbread and place them on the baking tray and then pop them in the fridge for half an hour. So we want them a fair size because we're making the strawberry shortbread. We don't want the biscuits to be too small. So we've already rolled it out here. So we're going to cut out the shapes like that. Make sure you make it goes all the way down, and then you just peel it away and place it on the baking tray, and then you keep going until you've used up all of the dough. You see they look nice and round and smooth. Lovely. And this makes a really simple dessert, and we're going to make it kind of look a bit restaurant style as well in how it's presented, so it looks nice and fancy. So I've used up managed to fit 6 on this tray. Put that aside. I've got another tray here, and I'm going to put 6 more on here. Cutting until you're using up all of the dough. It doesn't spread, so you can put them close together if you want to. There, there's the second one. Right, so now there's no more space for cutting it out, so all you do is roll it back together and then roll it out again. So I've just brought together all of the leftover dough. Put the other sheet of greaseproof paper on top, and then you roll it out again so you don't waste anything, because sustainability. The leftover dough is rolled out, and there you go. Then get some more biscuits out of it so it doesn't waste. So this one's cracked a bit, but that's okay. You can just press it back together and put it on the tray. And the final one is here. And there we have 12. We have 12, which is a dozen, biscuits ready to go. So now I'm just going to get a fork, and I'm just going to make a little pattern on each of the biscuits. Just like that. You can make whichever pattern you like, or you can just leave it plain. Either way is fine. There are some molds you can use as well to put different designs on it. I've actually got letterings as well, so you can put words on it if you want to as well. I did it for the kids at my church and they loved that. There you go. So this is going to go into the fridge for half an hour before we start baking.
For a certain temperature.
And pop it into the fridge for half an hour. That's one tray, and here's the second tray. So now I'm going to take the biscuits out of the fridge here. So they've been in there for half an hour. So I'll just place them down here. That's the first tray. And here's the second tray. So you're going to just give them a light sprinkle with some caster sugar. Just like that. Just a little sprinkle over each so it'll get a nice golden crunch on top, and it will look pretty as well. Just to add to it. Like that. And then you can pop it into the oven for 20 minutes. Right, now these are ready. So they're golden. Just put one here. It's light, it's fluffy.